Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, I wanted to share with you today a subject that I've been reading more and more about, especially now we're living in a world of voice recognition and voice interfaces, digital assistants. Because it seems that more and more multinational companies are turning to a company called Fluent AI for voice recognition. Now, Fluent AI is the creator of the world's first acoustic voice interface for intelligent devices and user interfaces. And already it's proving the advantages of its platforms against those leading speech recognition systems. Fluent AI's artificial intelligence product, the Fluent AI Engine, is an enterprise-grade voice interface that uses sophisticated neural network and machine learning technologies to deliver fantastic results. Essentially, Fluent AI learns language on the fly, like children do, by learning to associate a specific sequence of sounds with an intended command or action. And in the process, it's eliminating the costly, complex and often inaccurate step of converting speech to text that is typical of AI voice assistants and speech recognition systems. I felt compelled to find out more, so buckle up and hold on tight because I'm going to beam your ears all the way to Canada so we can speak with Niraj Bhagavra from Fluent AI, who's going to tell us all about this technology and how it's a real game changer. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Niraj Bhagavra, CEO of Fluent AI, a fast-growing startup with offices in Montreal and Ottawa, Canada. Our AI makes it easy for anyone to be understood by technology using voice as the user interface. Users can teach our AI to understand them regardless of their language or accent with new commands for various devices and contexts. Our technology can understand the user rather than the user trying to understand the technology.
Now, Fluent AI is the creator of the world's first acoustic voice interface for intelligent devices that excels where conventional speech recognition always falls short. And we're all aware of that. But can you expand on what Fluent AI can do, who uses it, and also what problems it solves?
We use deep tech to voice enable the world's devices. Fluent AI can be used by any OEM or technology integrator that wants to add reliable voice capability to any device or system, quickly for any language, accent, or even speech impediments. Our AI learns speech without having to convert speech to text. Conventional speech recognition systems rely on complex algorithms to convert speech to text, filter noise, interpret the manner of speech, and use that text as a search term. Fluent AI learns to understand the command the way the user speaks the command. That gives us a clear advantage over conventional speech-to-text systems. These other systems, like Siri and Alexa, often suffer from poor accuracy and high latency, especially when reliant on poor internet connections. In head-to-head tests, Fluent AI performed an average of 20 to 40% better.
Now, you mentioned Alexa there and Siri, because there are so many voice assistants now, including, like I said, Siri, Alexa, Microsoft Cortana, Google Assistant, and so many other artificial intelligent voice technologies that have all opened this new world of engagement between the human and the device. But do you have any data on how these assistants actually perform against each other, and indeed against the more traditional type searches into Google, for example?
Digital marketing agency Stone Temple recently put the leading system to the test with 5,000 questions. Google Assistant answered 68% of the questions with 90.6% completeness and accuracy. Cortana answered 56% with 81% accuracy. Siri answered 21% with 62% accuracy. And Alexa answered 20% with 87% accuracy. By comparison, text-based Google search was still ahead, answering 74% of the questions with 97% completeness and accuracy.
Wow, that's quite an eye-opener. And I think I also read that 56% of consumers want to use voice-activated personal assistant to control their smart home devices now as well. And also there's a further 55% that want to use voice to control entertainment devices, such as their TVs. But where does Fluent AI sit in all this? And also, what opportunities do you see in this market?
At Fluent AI, we know that voice is the most natural user interface. The way conventional voice recognition systems work is far from natural. It's not well suited for the scenarios like the Internet of Things. Most smart home or IoT applications that would use voice don't require an assistant meant to understand arbitrary requests and search the entire internet. Consumers just need a platform that can be quickly taught to understand a finite set of commands for a specific context. And most importantly, to do so with 95% accuracy every time, regardless of language, accent, speech impairment, or background noise. That's what Fluent AI does. We provide a platform that can provide that ease of use, adaptability, and accuracy.
And I also read how a European telecom service provider chose Fluent AI for multilingual cloud capabilities. But can you offer any further details that will help listeners actually visualize exactly what you do over at Fluent AI?
Telcos in diverse places like Europe often have operations in a dozen countries and want to roll out a multilingual automated voice response, or AVR system. An AVR that has to be responsive and reliable. A telco may want to have customers to be able to ask billing questions, top up pay-as-you-go phone plans, and change service plans at any time at their convenience. But a conventional speech recognition system requires thousands of speech hours and hundreds of speakers to program a single language or accent. It has taken some companies a year per language. With conventional speech-to-text systems, this level of effort is required regardless of the application and the size of vocabulary required. It's all or nothing. In our case, in only 10 weeks, Fluent AI created a fully functional custom models for multiple new languages as a proof of concept.
So I've got to ask, what are the biggest challenges that you're coming across at the moment at Fluent AI?
Developing top talent has been a large obstacle to overcome, especially now that we have a number of big companies that have opened up their AI research labs in Montreal. We're looking to scale up with great talent. Beyond that, we just need to get the word out. We're actively engaging with consumer electronics, OEMs, telecommunication companies, and others to explain, first, how our platform is different, and second, that it's enterprise grade and ready for the market now. Some think we're up against the big guys like Google and Apple and Amazon, but we look at them as potential partners. Our technology offers features and capabilities that can be complementary to what they offer.
Now, as someone that's from the UK, one of the biggest drawbacks that it often feels like over here in the UK is that you have to adopt an almost Californian-style accent to be understood. And voice recognition seems to struggle with any form of accent that's beyond that area or part of the world. But I recently read that at Fluent AI, you believe that everyone deserves to be understood, which is incredibly refreshing on its own. So can you tell me how you overcome things like background noise, accents and speech impediments, all using your technology?
Our deep learning techniques enable acoustic-only speech recognition technology that is capable of running offline, on device, without requiring a cloud connection. What do we mean by acoustic only? Well, unlike conventional voice assist technologies, our artificial intelligence doesn't have to convert speech to text to interpret and execute a spoken command. Fluent AI learns language on the fly, like children do. It learns to associate a specific sequence of sounds with a specific command or action. It takes about a minute with a simple exercise to teach our AI a new phrase. Anyone can do it. So anyone can teach Fluent AI to understand them. An accent or speech impediment is not a barrier.
Now, I also read earlier this year that Fluent AI raised further seed financing to accelerate the commercialization of its AI voice interface technology. I mean, how's that helping you evolve as a company?
Well, we can now fully commercialize our technology, including meeting with global customers. We've added a number of key features to our core technology, such as custom wake phrases and the hybrid capability. We're ready for market.
Fantastic. So what's next for Fluent AI? I mean, what does 2018 have in store for you guys? And also, what will your primary focus be next year?
It's an exciting time. We're focused on the markets of consumer electronics, telecom, and automotive. We're working towards our Series A financing round to accelerate our global growth. And we plan to make a big splash at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in January. So stay tuned for that as well.
Oh, okay, that's a teaser. I feel like I need to get myself to CES now in Vegas.
Sure.
But before I let you go, can you point the listeners in the direction of your website, your social media channels, and also how they can reach out and contact your team if they have any additional questions about anything we've talked about today, even if it is just where you're going to be at CES?
Sure. You can find out a lot more about us at www.fluent.ai and on Twitter at FluentAI. And to discuss sales, partnerships, licensing, just email us at contact@fluent.ai.
Well, a huge thanks for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you taking the time. And I think there's so much talk at the moment about these digital voice assistants, but a lot of the things that you've highlighted there, and a lot of the facts and figures behind it is nothing short of fascinating. So a big thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Conventional speech recognition platforms claim an accuracy rate of around 95%. But, and this is a very big but, it assumes that an ideal scenario where all users use standard American English with no accent in a clean or low noise environment. So I was fascinated to hear recently about Fluent AI's 2 trials where they use speakers with different accents as well as background noise with a signal to noise ratio of 5 to 20 decibels. But under these conditions, Fluent AI maintained an accuracy rate of 96%, while other industry players could only achieve 72% on average. Now this got me thinking, why don't we talk more about the problems with accents and voice styles and how they interact with technology more? Because in the same way that we all have a unique appearance, we all have a unique voice too. Here in the UK, for example, you only have to travel 10-15 miles to learn that everybody speaks entirely different. And yet most digital assistants seem to assume that everyone talks like they're from the west coast of the US. And for these reasons alone, it's easy to see why a European telecom service provider recently chose Fluent AI for those multilingual cloud capabilities. Because it's not just about accents, it's different languages too. For most customer service applications and smart devices for the Internet of Things, we don't need a technology intended to understand random requests and search the entire internet in the process. Consumer needs often lie with a platform that can just quickly be taught to understand a specific language for a specific context. And most importantly, do so with a 96% accuracy. And do that every single time and regardless of language, of accent, of any speech impairment, or even background noise. The fact that Fluent AI maintained an accuracy rate of 96% in their tests, while other industry players could only achieve 72%, shows you the difference between these technologies and how they're used. But enough of me and my rants. What are your thoughts about everything that we've talked about today? And while you're there, why not also tell me about the platform that you choose to listen to this show and where you listen every day? As always, get me by emailing me at techblogwriter@outlook.com or feel free to tweet me at Neil C. Hughes. But it's time for me to go now, I'm afraid. So all that's left for me to say is a big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.